Oh, okay. So it said you were connecting to audio, but then it said you did not connect to audio. Oh, okay. Oh, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Good. Okay. I'm on my phone doing it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I wonder
God.
what happened. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. That scared the crap out of me.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh
It
my
all
God.
it all works out. It all works out in the
Oh
right
my
timing and everything. So how are you?
God. I could be better.
I kind of got that vibe. Yeah, you and your daughter are a little overwhelmed with some things. I didn't write down who. All right, so I have to ask. I know there was somebody you were hoping to connect to, and I've completely drawn a blank. Don't tell me yet, but I feel like when I kid you not, when I was walking down the stairs and across my downstairs to get into here, I suddenly felt really short. Is the person you wanted to connect with short?
Yes, yeah, possibly shorter. I mean,
I'm 5'4", and I felt like I shrunk to like 5'2". It was weird.
I could see that she's little.
Okay, because I felt
She's
like I was just small all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay, this is not cute. I'm not shrinking, so it was more of a, I don't know if this was her trying to come through or if I was just having a moment.
Wow. Wow.
Whoever this is really strong though. Is this person like a very strong energy in your life?
It could be maybe my grandmother.
Okay, well, I'm just going to kind of hang out and wait and see, because I know either you were hoping to connect with somebody specific, and again, I spaced already who it is. I just came out of a QHHT session, and I'm kind of like, oh, this reading's going to be good. Okay, here we go. Okay, so whoever this is that stepped in and like just wanted me to know she was here was very short, but she feels like small and mighty. Like that's the vibe that I was getting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hearing the name Jessica, but Jessica has two different meanings for me. Like it could be an actual name, like Jessica, a J name, or it could mean daughter, like, or red hair, like a redhead. Does that make sense to you? Because my daughter's name is Jessica. So anytime I get a Jessica reference, I always kind of see her, and she's the oldest child. She's got long red hair, and she's a Leo. So it's something in that family whenever I get that reference. Does that make sense to you? If not, it's fine. I'm going to write it down.
Oh my gosh, Jessica. I have a friend, Jessica. When I was younger, she passed away.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to sit with that for a minute. I feel like you have a lot of people coming in around you. I feel like you've been calling out a lot of people. You've been calling, and I know there was a death around you because you told me, not because I'm like magic, but
Yeah, but I know you're real though.
Thanks. But I feel like, okay, so Jessica's around you. Gosh, I've got so many references coming at me at once. I'm asking him just to kind of slow down. So someone's coming through saying you refer to them as your angel, like a guardian angel, but they're like a relative. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't do that. Like, I'm not that person who's like, oh, my grandparents, my guardian. Nope. No, I know. So not everybody does that, but I feel like I feel like you refer to this person as your guardian angel. How do I ask this? I'm being impressed with like somebody, like, I feel like, did you lose a child, or did you like, I feel like before it was born, did you have a miscarriage, or had you lost a child at one point?
I just lost a daughter 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I did when I was 18, I had an abortion.
Okay, so this is the connection I'm getting. Have you ever felt like, I'm getting a very specific reference to myself. Believe me, I'm not judging. I'm getting a reference to myself. So I feel like when you made that decision and then you had your daughter or you had your next child, you felt like that was a child that was trying to come through, but we knew it wasn't time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the daughter you just lost, was she your oldest?
No,
Okay.
my middle.
That was more of a me question than a thing question. Yeah. Okay. Do you have a son? I feel like I'm getting a son reference or a boy reference.
No, I did a stepson.
Well, then you have a son. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking, but
It doesn't have to be somebody on the other side. They're just like they're throwing all kinds of information at me at once. So I'm just trying to write it down as I get it. And then we can kind of sort it out, because when I get it all at once, I'm like, stop, not stop, but like slow down. It doesn't always make sense. It doesn't always make sense at first.
Yes.
Okay. So they're referring to a son. They're referring to, is he like around 8 or 9? Like, is he younger?
Yes.
Okay. And did he annoy the crap out of the middle child?
Yes.
I feel like her more than anybody else. Like, I feel like they were always like,
yes.
Why are you here? Like that kind of.
Yes.
Your middle daughter, the one you lost, was she pretty spicy? Was she like pretty outspoken and spicy and loud? Like starting at a young age, you were like, why are we starting puberty at like 8? Like, I feel like she was like that spicy. You're like, why are you so spicy?
Yeah, she was a little, I was a single mom. Mm-hmm. And I had the girls young. I started at 18. And so growing up, they was always comical. And they started shaving the down in the lower area, like in the 5th grade. And I thought, wow, this is early. And it just, all the girls were doing it, they said. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So it was from there, that was a situation of how do you show the girls that? And it was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel she just feels like she's wise beyond her years or older than her years. Like, she just felt like she was like, go for it. They're showing my middle child, who I was like, at 8, I was like, why do you have so many big words coming out of your mouth right now? And why do you feel like you own this house?
Yes.
Like that was the attitude that I was being impressed with, was like, but I'm fiercely independent, and very resistant to asking for love.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay. I'm hearing the number 16. Is that significant to you? Either birthday, age. I feel like there's something about 16 that's a significant number. Does that make sense?
Her birthday is on the 16th.
Okay. Like, she keeps showing me like all these references to like my kids. So it's kind of weird. Not weird. Nothing's weird in this work, and I've learned. But so like my daughter and my son. So, okay. So Spirit's new thing is to make me see shadows and to see spirits. So if you see me doing like, I'm constantly checking myself. I'm like, am I losing my mind? Am I old? Am I just seeing reflections? But there's someone here. I can feel them. Yesterday, somebody just waltzed in right down into my room and sat in my chair. I'm like, that was weird. Like I knew they were there. I'm like, welcome. Okay. So anyway, they're showing me like my two younger ones are 2 years and 2 days apart. And that's my middle daughter and my youngest son. So 2 years, 2 days apart. So they're like really close. And I feel like there's some reference that she's showing me with the son, the stepson or the son, whatever, that there's some sort of reference there. Does that make sense to you? Like either close birthdays or some sort of pattern. There's some kind of familiarity to what I'm saying. Or May. Are they born in May? There's a May birthday reference.
Yes, yes. She was born in May. I was born in May.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because my kids are May 26th and 28th. So there's like this, they're like 2 years and 2 days apart. So she was showing me birthdays, talked about your kids' birthdays. Okay.
Yes.
She's also showing me a pogo stick. Does that make sense to you? She showed me a pogo stick. Did you guys have a pogo stick? Do you remember what pogo sticks are? The things you jump on, you're like, boink, boink, dunk. Yeah, those sticks, and then you jump off. Or you fall on your face. She's showing me a pogo stick for some reason.
A pogo stick.
This could be your friend Jessica. When you were younger, is this something that you guys did together? Did you have a pogo stick?
Oh my gosh, she did.
Okay.
She did. Yes, she did. We did a lot with her.
Okay. You got a lot of crossover happening here. So I'm trying to figure out who's saying what and where it's coming from. Your daughter that passed, was it tragic and sudden?
Yes.
Okay. And was it car related?
Yes.
Okay. Because this is what she's showing me, and I don't know exactly who's showing me this, but I'm seeing it from her perspective. Like this happens, and she's standing, like her spirit is standing outside the car going, oh shit, like what just happened? And it feels very sudden and very, can I go back? Can this be fixed? Like, I feel like she's just like that initial shock of like, she's looking at herself. She wants you to know though, I think that's very important for you to know that it was such a shock. It happened so quick. Like she doesn't have memory of feeling anything. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
She feels like it's very, very important that you know this. Okay. She's pointing at her shoes. Did one shoe come off, or was there something to do with her shoes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is just her way of confirming that, like, this is who this is.
You got it. You got it. You nailed it right there.
Okay.
Because there's nobody else that would have known that.
Oh, okay.
Those shoes were $300 that her dad got her. See, and her dad's never paid child support, so she was so excited to wear those shoes that day. So excited, and we actually got them back, and they were in good condition. So he has the shoes because he's just holding on to them.
And that,
yeah. So
wow, like she's, I don't, can you see? I don't know if you can see the goosebumps. Like she's somebody, like they're here. This room is full right now because I'm like, okay.
Now I know. Now I know because I got a reading off a lady, and I just felt she was from my hometown, and I just felt she didn't say anything that I just
wasn't.
yeah, and I just left there like I don't know. I felt like I was taken advantage of. I thought it was supposed to be a friend of a friend, and and it just. You pay all that money, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I go to you and you're cheaper. And I'm like, this is crazy. I was telling everyone thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I've been watching this lady. I know.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. Okay, she's showing me, well, she's making me look at my candle. So did you have like a candlelight vigil for her?
Yes.
Okay. She's very excited right now. Like
Yes,
her
no.
energy, she's very full of energy. And I'm trying to say this without like she wants you to know that it's okay that she's where she is. It hurts and you're sad, but this was, and I don't even like saying stuff like this, but she said it 3 times and we have a deal. If you say something 3 times, I have to say it. She's like, this is part of the plan. I don't like normally saying that because I feel like that can create more harm than good, but I feel like something about that would make you feel better is what she's saying. Like, this is part of the plan. Please grieve. Please go through every step of grief. And she says, feel no shame about it. Don't let it. I feel like there's someone around you that'll be like, listen, you can't change it, so get over it. Like, I feel like there's someone around you that at some point is either going to say that, or I don't think they're going to say it yet. But there's somebody in your life that's going to be like, well, you can't change it. She can't come back. So you might as well move on. Fuck it. No, not pardon me. Fuck them. No. Grieve. She wants you to grieve every single step. Feel every feeling, because once you do that, you will have learned the lessons that you signed up. Again, I hate saying that, but like the things you wanted to learn, you'll learn.
Yep.
And I also feel like, she showed me, like, have you started, I started to say, have you joined, but I feel like, did you start like a grief group or something? She showed me a circle. Did you
Yes,
start like a group?
well, I'm in, like, I'm going to grief counseling now,
Mhm.
and I want to do something in honor of her name.
Okay.
So,
Because she makes me feel like you want to start something. And she
yeah.
said, please, please, please do it.
Oh,
Because one of your missions to make all this make sense is to help others.
yep.
And like,
Yes.
she fulfilled her obligation here by dying the way she did. And you have got to go through the grief process fully. No corners cut. Like, she's serious about this. And she goes, if you want to eat all the ice cream on the couch because you feel like it that day, do it. Like, she wants you to feel all the feels so you get it out of the way in the right time, because there are big plans for you. Like, I just feel like you are going to help people, that was an agreement that you had. Did she, now she's making me feel like, did she have like she showed me the cat with 9 lives. Like, was she like a kid who was like, where you're like, oh my God, you're gonna die before you're 5 because you were just so out of control? Like, or you just make some dumb decisions. I feel like that she was just always, you're always like, oh God. So you're almost not surprised that something happened, but even though you were surprised. So she makes me feel like she's had like the cat with 9 lives.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Because they kept sending her back. Kept saying, no, not time, not yet, not yet, not yet. She had to learn some things first before
Yeah,
she could exit.
it was crazy. She said a week prior to this, she said she was going to die in a car accident. It was so weird.
She knew, like, she is like, I feel like when she was younger, when she was like little, did she tell you that she was going to die early?
Uh, she would say stuff to her sisters and things like that.
Like, I don't think I'm going to live to be 20. I don't think I'm going to live to be, I feel like that she knew, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, her soul knew that this was coming.
Yep.
And I know it doesn't sound great to hear. It doesn't make any of it better. It doesn't make you miss her any less. And that's why she wants you to know that just because it was part of the plan doesn't dismiss your feelings. Because she knows that, I feel like you take on a lot of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you're that person's like, okay, my babies are hurting. I'll take all their pain. And she's like, nope, you deal with your own. And everyone else's pain is their own lesson. Be a soft place to fall, but don't take their pain.
Wow.
It's very, very important for you to know that. Was she named after our grandmother? Or did she have like a family name?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Cause she's,
Yeah.
but is that grandmother still here or she
No.
passed?
Yeah.
Try to, is it the short, sassy one?
It might be. It
And is this
might be.
on your side of the family? Is she on
She
your
would
side
be
of the
on
family?
the other side of
Other
the
side. Okay.
family.
Try to figure out who this is. There's a grandmother energy that's over here, which would mean for you.
I'm thinking it might be my grandmother. She's a short lady, very sassy.
Yeah, she
And
decided to step into my body and walk with me all the way over here. I'm like, why do I feel so short? Like, I'm not kidding. I'm like, this is bizarre. This is weird. I don't think I like it. I'm already short enough as it is. I'm like, I'm in the 5'4" category, which is almost petite sizes. But then if I wear a size is like my regular clothing size to fit this way, then like everything's like this long. So, but I feel like she just made me feel short. I'm like, why am I short in my house right now? So she is very strong presence here. So it was just your daughter bringing up the fact that she's named after her grandmother. Okay. Were you are you remarried? So are you remarried now?
yes.
Okay. Did she like him?
She did, but she didn't.
I feel like what she showed, she's like oil and water. Is what she's showing me. Like there's this, but I don't know if she's talking about like how different her dad and stepdad are, or if it's her and stepdad. Like I feel like she's just like there's this like do not blend. Doesn't mean doesn't like, just didn't blend. Like there was just something not blending. So that tells me if she's talking about your ex-husband or her dad and then your now husband, it's like, are they just like total opposites?
Yeah, her and her dad are total opposites.
Oh, okay. Because
They are
she's like very
yeah, her and
different.
her dad are total opposites. Total
But does she look like him?
She looks more like me.
Okay. What is
But
she showing me? There's something about him that she's like there's something that she is claiming. Again, this is what she's showing me. She's giving me a comparison to my daughter, my middle daughter, and my husband. They look like dead on exactly alike. Like all she needs is a goatee, and they look exactly alike. But they were oil and water for the longest time. But turns out it's because they're so much alike they can't stand to be around each other. Like she is his clone. I'm like, you got nothing from me except your smart ass mouth is what you got from me.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's what they were showing me. That's what she was showing me was this comparison to like daughter and dad. Like
yeah.
that. So, okay. Yeah. So it's just her way of validating that. She's talking about singing. Was she a singer or was there singing at her funeral? She showed me the funeral, like at her funeral. Did someone sing at the funeral?
Yeah, I did.
Aw. Because she's talking about how beautiful her funeral was. And she was very appreciative. She makes me feel like it was simple but beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Did you she showed me a teddy bear. Was there a childhood, like a teddy bear or a childhood thing that you put with her that you had with her? She's bringing up a teddy bear. She showed me like a little plush toy. Is there something that in regards to like the funeral or like something to do with there? She just showed me this bear.
A bear.
Well, I mean, it could be stuff in my mind. It's a bear. It could be a stuffed animal. Something that was important to her was like my daughter has this thing called Twinkles that she is a lot. She has to be a lot like my daughter because she keeps referring to my daughter, my middle child, and she keeps showing me like my daughter had this clown that I bought for her when I was only 3 months pregnant. That was the first gift we ever bought her. And that child is 21 and it still sits on her bed at college. Like, I feel like there's just something that she's referring to, like there's some sort of like stuffed bear, stuffed animal, something that is significant to her that you either hung on to or that was brought to the funeral or something that she's referring to. If it doesn't make sense, it's okay. We'll figure out where that fits in.
I called her Care Bear all the time.
Oh, that's all it was. She
I
was
called
going
her
to say bear.
Care Bear, Care Bear. I called her Care Bear all the time. That was her name, Care Bear.
Aw,
Care
okay.
Bear.
See, isn't it funny how like they show the weirdest
Yes,
things to get you to say
yes,
the dumb,
yes.
all she had to do is say bear. Just say bear. That's it would have been the simplest thing. But I guess she did show me a bear. So I guess that's all I needed to say.
Yeah.
On the day of either the day she died or the day of funeral, maybe both. Was there a rainbow? Like she showed me like there was a rainbow, like very significant to you within the time that she died, where you were like, that's from her, that it's going to be okay, or that's from God, that it's going to be okay. That makes sense to you? She showed me a rainbow. Unless she was known as Rainbow Care Bear, I don't know. There's
No.
rainbow reference.
Yeah, there was a rainbow after she passed away. There was a rainbow. You know, you can't remember some things, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, you gotta look for it and stuff.
Just let it sit, because it may come to you later, and it'll be clear as day. So don't try to force it right now. We'll just leave it where it is, and let it, and see if it makes sense later.
Oh my gosh, I know what it is. I know what it is. The rainbow. It's rainbow Cheerios that she stuck up on her sister's house over the ledge, and they left it there for a good the first few weeks because nobody would touch it, and it was rainbow. It was rainbow on the outside of her nephew's snacks, and it was up there, and it was rainbows all over it, and nobody's touched it. So that might be it.
Yeah, she was talking about a rainbow. Okay.
Yeah, that might be it.
I think the biggest takeaway is that she's very talkative, she's very active, and she's here. And I feel like Jessica and your grandmother came through very prominently so quickly with her, because one, she's still getting acclimated over there. And I feel like they were there for her when she crossed over. I feel like they were there for her. And that's why they are so strong here. Because Jessica, dying as a child, knew that this would trigger you in a different level. And I feel like, did your daughter know about your friend dying? Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like there was just this understanding. There's this understanding. They were there to meet her. I think that was the biggest takeaway with having the other two here. I'm also getting an energy step up, kind of new, out of nowhere. So but this is how they present it sometimes. So I'm seeing, once again, one of my relatives, or my husband's relatives, I'm being impressed with his grandfather, which could be your grandfather, but like his grandfather, whose name was Jack. And he was Irish, and he liked his Jameson. So I'm either supposed to say grandfather, veteran, that was the other thing, veteran, likes the whiskey, or Jack. Any of that ring a bell with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like just all these people have just stepped up in support, and they're throwing all these things out to let you know, like that are going to resonate with you, to make sure you know that they're around. Is there someone on your paternal side, your dad's side of the family, because that's when they come over here, that's where they're from, that died in service?
It died in service?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. I don't
Or
know.
or was in service, in the service, and like but when they were buried, they would have had like, because they're showing me like a uniform.
Yes, my pap was buried,
Okay.
out in veterans.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that was very significant to him. As soon as I started, I was like, veteran. He made me say veteran. I wasn't going to go there with Grandpa, but he made me say that because he was very proud. Was he in the Navy by chance?
I'm not sure, but I know he was
Okay.
a veteran of some sort.
Okay.
I
Well, the reason I ask is because Matt's grandfather was in the Navy. So I was like, that's what he was showing me. So I don't know if that was just him trying to get me to say in the service, buried with honors, in the like all that, or if it was like Navy specific.
and my
So
dad was in the Navy.
okay, okay. So there is a Navy reference there. Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. So grandfather is like, yeah, well, he didn't see the kind of stuff I did. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
He's
what my
like,
dad would say.
okay. Okay. Um, is there a Greg? I'm hearing Greg or a G name. Anytime I hear, oh, it's my friend. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Does that make sense to you? Is there a Greg, a significant Greg around you?
I got a cousin Greg.
On dad's side of the family?
No, on mom's side.
Okay. Then I don't know that this is, I don't know who this is then, or why they're bringing that up. My friend Greg, who died about a year and a half ago, his birthday's today. So they were showing me Greg. They were showing me him. So I was like, am I supposed to say Greg or someone's birthday today that's significant? What's the Greg? What's Greg? Or someone who died of COVID. That would have been like around my age. So like around 40, 49, 50. Now that ringing about. Oh,
Greg and died of COVID. I do know a Greg. It died of COVID. He was a friend, just a friend around here. We knew him.
okay.
They called him, he went by initials. Like there were certain initials they always called him.
Oh, okay. Well, for some reason he's popping up. So
Do you know if he's a black guy?
I don't know. They just said Greg.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be funny if he was, because my friend Greg was a tap dancer, which is rooted in Black history.
Oh my gosh.
So like there would be that connection there, but in a roundabout weird
Yes,
way.
yes.
I just feel like someone was bringing him up. Like I feel like this was just a reference to someone who'd passed. It's like they're like, okay, wait, okay, what else do we have? What else do we have? Okay, hula hoop, say that. Like I feel like they're just like throwing all kinds of weird things out to get me to connect. Ultimately, though, I feel like you know that they're here. What questions do you have?
Okay. That night, my daughter, was she drugged, or do you know, could you tell me anything if she was drugged, or if it was alcohol, or if it was something that happened to her? Because she wasn't a girl. I knew she didn't do drugs. I knew she, did medical cannabis here and there. I just can't, like,
Was she driving?
uh-huh.
Oh, see, I didn't see that. I just saw that like
Yeah.
she wasn't showing. She wasn't. She was showing me like, was she out? What had she been she didn't look like she was out of the car though. She was out of the car. Like her spirit was like, oh shit.
No, you're saying the same thing that that other lady said here that gave me the reading. She also said that when Carrie Carrie left her body 3 or 4 seconds before she hit the building, and she
Yeah.
was out of her body, just how you said, like she was like, oh shit, like what happened?
What happened?
That's all she said to me, and like nothing else. And I was like,
Had she been working a lot? Has she been
yeah,
working like a lot of hours? Because she makes me feel like
none. Yeah,
she
she
never
was
knew what happened. Like she didn't know what happened. But I don't feel like she was altered. I don't feel like, I just feel like when I tried to plug in, I was like, all right, well, show me what happened. She's like, I literally was like, and the only accident my daughter's ever been in, my oldest, Jessica, was when she nodded off and ran into somebody's mailbox because she'd been working like for some stupid amount of hours. So I don't know that she was altered other than she makes me feel tired. So if she had anything, she was just tired. You know, it made her tired and she dozed off, but makes me feel like she literally just kind of fell asleep.
wow. Wow.
Like my head gets really heavy. Like, oh shit. Okay. And that's why it was so, like, she didn't see it coming. She didn't see it coming. So when it happened, she was like, like it was
Wow.
just, it was that fast.
Wow. And her sister doesn't want to move. Her sister wants to move out of her house. Her sister's pregnant and she's due in
Okay.
November.
Okay.
And her daughter, Shia wanted me to ask, does Carrie want her to move or would she want her to stay there?
It doesn't even, she makes me feel like it's, no, do what you need to do. It literally means nothing.
Yeah.
Like these are earthly possessions, earthly things, do what you have to do. And she makes me feel, would it be really super expensive for her to move right now? I feel
Yeah.
like there's a big financial barrier with that. But she makes me feel like just no, there, there's no reason to.
And
She's
does
like,
she
if you
want
want to go,
this
but
baby
don't.
named after her?
Oh, again, they don't care about that stuff. Oh my goodness. She goes, that doesn't matter, but I mean, that was funny.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I'm not telling you what to do.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
She makes me feel like this baby's going to see her. Like she's going to be visiting this baby. Like this baby, and anytime you see that baby like cooing off to the corner, that will be her. Oh, and grandma. Grandma's a sucker for the babies. Actually, grandma's bringing that up. Like, I feel like did that just recently happen? She's kind of claiming that like that's actually happened with somebody's baby recently. Did somebody else have a baby, or like in the last couple of years, like where she would have been, you've been like, oh my gosh, they must see grandma, they must see her. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, my daughter has a 2-year-old.
Okay, that makes
Yes.
sense. Okay, because that's what I was like 2 years ago, a couple years ago.
Yep.
All right, because grandma's taking ownership of like playing with and teasing the baby.
Yes.
That baby's never going to be alone, and I feel like this baby's probably going to sleep. Did the first one not sleep well?
Yeah, he didn't sleep very
Didn't
good.
sleep very well. Well, I feel like this next one coming, because again, I'm getting reference to my oldest, who there's a reason there's 9 years between them. So I was like, I'm never doing this again, because she cried from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. for the first 4 months of her life. It was awful. And then there's like 9 years later, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll do this again. And that, like, my middle child just like slept in her own bed after like 4 weeks all through the night. And so she's showing me that. She's like, this baby will sleep better. This baby will be less restless. Is your daughter like really high anxiety? I know, like, baby, you got everyone with a 2-year-old is crazy, but
Yeah.
I feel like she tends to be a little higher on the high anxiety chart anyway. That makes sense.
Mhm.
She's like, tell her to breathe. She needs to slow her heart rate down. She needs to relax more. This baby's going to be a lot more chill,
Wow.
a lot more chill, um, and should sleep better. Is there an M name like Marla or Mara? Is there an M name that's significant? I hear like Marla or Marley or Mary or
Mary Jo.
Okay, who's that?
That's their grandmother.
Okay. Okay. They were just like showing off now. Okay.
Yes, yes.
They're bringing up a liver issue. Somebody have a liver issue?
A liver issue.
I don't
No,
know if
not
it's someone on the other side or someone living. They're bringing up someone significant in your life with a liver issue. Could also be a drinking issue. I don't know. Now I feel like it's a liver, like something's not processing or something doesn't process right. Because once again, showing me my life, my dog doesn't process copper and it gets stuck in her liver. So we have to do all these crazy things. And she's got all these weird things that she has to do. And she acts like she's just a weird dog on top of that. But like, so
no,
they're
that
showing me a liver. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
it
Okay.
would make sense, yes. Oh wow.
Do you still have her bike? Is there something, some reference to her bike? Spirits like to bring up bikes for some reason. They're always bringing up bikes with me. There's some reference to her bike. Did she own a bike?
No, no.
Is the 2-year-old learning how to ride? I feel like there's some reference to somebody learning how to ride a bike or some sort of reference to a bike that's significant.
Yes, he's learned how to ride a bike. He just got a
Okay.
bike.
Yeah, because I feel like she's like this. She's
Um,
around it. I don't be surprised if he sees her. I bet he still talks about her. Does he still
oh,
talk about her?
he
Like she,
does. He says her
Mhm.
name and stuff like that. And yeah, he does. He says her name, and we was wondering that too.
He's one of the first people that she went to make sure he was okay when they found out when everything happened.
Wow, yes.
Because she knew he'd be upset and wouldn't understand.
Oh my gosh. Wow, yeah. That morning the first word he said was Carrie when he
Mhm.
was up.
Yeah, so she's around him a lot. It's like he doesn't understand that she's gone because he still sees her.
Yeah.
His veil is still thin.
Yeah, because she was with him every day. So my
Mhm.
daughter, she hasn't brought, today was the first time she brought him over here, but he didn't go upstairs
Mhm.
because her bedroom's up there. So we don't know if it's going to do anything to him.
Just let him. If he
Yeah,
goes up, just let him. Because you know what? He'll feel her.
that's what I was saying. That's
Yeah,
what I was saying.
don't put the fear on him. That's her anxiety. That's your anxiety. Don't put your anxiety as adults on him because if you can keep that veil thin, he will always feel her.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to tell him stories and like as if just this the good things. When your Aunt Carrie was 3, you know what she did? I just feel like there's just this, he needs that connection, and it'll be good in the long run for him to be allowed to see, feel, and know her.
Yes.
Because the baby's going to see, feel, and know her. And if he says anything, say, "Oh yeah, what's she got to say today?" And she will tell him, and he will tell you.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So
Oh,
just let him be your little parrot.
wow. Wow. Wow, that is so good. That makes me feel so good.
So
Good.
baby number 2 is going to be a girl, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I can't believe it.
Overall, I mean, overall, I get nothing negative. I get nothing. It's
So
nothing
she's
but love.
oh, God. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That
And
makes me feel
and no matter what I say, how great she's doing, it's okay if you are sad.
yes, yes. She was just my helper. She was everything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. But oh, you are awesome. Like the shoes, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And then I was always wondering, did she know I sang at her candlelight? It
Oh,
was
yeah. She does. She was very happy. Like she not happy, but like did at one point at the funeral, she's talking about walking through someone or coming behind someone. Did you feel like a breeze or feel like somebody came up behind you? That's what they do, by the way. That's what they do. I know when there's somebody's walking in and like trying to get my attention, especially when I'm doing a reading, or if I'm trying to connect with someone, they'll just straight walk through me from behind. And it feels like a cold chill, but it's a little more electrified than a regular cold chill. So, but I feel like she's referencing doing that to somebody. Did someone say, I just felt her, or it was you, it could have been you, but she's making
yeah,
that reference like this.
yeah.
Whew, she walked through you. You're welcome.
Wow. That's something she would say. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's what she just said. Yeah, you're welcome. Um,
Oh my gosh.
okay,
Yes.
but was she into TikTok? Did she do silly TikToks?
Yes. Yes. She did.
Because it's funny because she was like, because she goes, that stupid
Mm.
face that girls make. And I'm like, I can't even make it look cute. I just
Yes.
bite my
Yes.
tongue and I end up
Yes.
with like a canker sore because I bit too hard. That's not even cute.
Oh
But she's
my
like,
god. That's how she did her pictures and stuff. She'd do that with her pictures and stuff like that. That is so funny. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I get it. Yeah, she's
Wow.
funny. She's funny. I love, she's got a great energy. She is happy. She is all back to herself, her spirit self. And she's like, I got big plans over here. I'm not going anywhere.
Is there any signs that I should look for that she
I
sent?
was just getting ready to say, I feel like dragonflies are a sign. Um, okay, so she's showing me a cardinal, but cardinals are a state bird. So I feel like it's either your state bird or a red bird. There's something a bird. Um, she's cracking up. She's like, normally I would be that pesky one that would be like a woodpecker banging on your window, but I'm not going to do that. Like I feel like that's her. That's her
Yes.
vibe.
Yes, that would be a woodpecker. Yes. Yes.
But I feel like she wants to come to you in forms of animals. Was she an animal person? Was she really a big animal person?
Yes. Yes.
So she says, whenever you see or get that weird vibe, like when you see like a rabbit, you're like, oh, she goes, just know it's me. Just assume that it's me because she's just makes me feel like she's always around.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, she sure is. It sure is. I
And ask when you go to sleep at night. I used to tell people all the time, when you go to sleep at night, ask them to come visit you in the golden light and sit next to you on a bench and talk with you. But it occurred to me recently that in order to connect with people on the other side, you have to like adjust your vibration. Like I can't just connect to my spirit guides. I have to sit and like ask to be adjusted. Like my vibration has to change. And when I channel, holy crap, I have to be like, okay, gotta fix me, get me ready. Cause I don't know if it's like listening to a radio station. You have to be on the right channel. And so ask before you go to sleep, for your guides. You don't even have to know who they are. You don't know anything about them. Just ask the powers that be to adjust your vibration to a place where you could visit with her and that you could walk with her in her park or go for a drive. Whatever you guys liked to do, ask to do that. But you'll have to, I feel like if you ask for that vibrational change, your chances are higher of connecting. In theory, your guides should already know this, but I feel like if you make that conscious intention to do that, you may feel it more, and you may remember, you may not. You may wake up and feel really relieved and have no idea why.
Yeah, I know. That's what I wonder. Some days I wake up and I feel like I feel her, but I have no dreams. And I'm thinking, did I have a dream and I just forget? But I was wondering that. I thought maybe this is why I feel okay this morning. I'm feeling better this morning. Have like, I don't know, a good vibe.
Mhm. Could
You
be.
know, I thought that. I thought something, she has to be doing something.
It's just she's around a lot. Like, I mean, she knows as you, and don't let anybody tell you that, oh, if you grieve them too long, they can't cross over. That's bullshit. She's already crossed over, just so we're aware, just so you're aware. She's already done it. She does have some work to do. Like, there's some things that she wants to do that she has to kind of review in a good way, like in a good way of like lessons that she learned and things that she learned while she was here and kind of processing. So she's still in that kind of phase. I would call it the unpacking her life so far and figuring out, okay, so when I come back, then what? Like, what am I going to do next? Like, what do I need to take with me? What do I need to discard? What was worthwhile? She's kind of going through that process right now, in addition to just trying to like help you guys through the grieving process. She's busy.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
But I also feel like, did she ever talk about weird dreams that she had, like time travel, or like, did she feel like she like lived other lives? Did she ever talk about that?
Yeah, she always felt different. She um always felt like people were talking about her when they weren't, and she was the most likable child ever. But she would always feel different than everybody else for some reason.
It's because she had a higher purpose. That part makes sense. She had a higher purpose. She knew she wasn't going to be here. She's an old soul. She was not a young soul at all. And it was like she's on the verge of master level kind of soul. Like, came here with the intention that she was going to die at this age as a sacrifice to help other people learn lessons. Bigger
Yes.
picture. Again, I'm not trying to say that to be all like, oh, she chose this, you all chose this path. No, she's a higher evolved soul. I can feel it. Like, her energy is so different. And the fact that after 4 weeks she could just pop in like she did and give the information she did, she's a more evolved soul. She came here, she still had lessons she had to learn, and she took those back with her. But she has a lot of work to do on the other side, like to help. She's helping. She's a helper. Like you
Oh,
said, she was
wow.
your helper. She is a helper. That's who she is. But also, we are in this lifetime, like our soul is like, I'm going to give you a really lame comparison. Say our oversoul, our main spirit, like who we are, is this big. We in this human body are this much of that. We are literally a spark of our full selves. So oftentimes, and I kid you not, like an hour before our session, I was just finishing with a QHHT client talking about this. And she's like, for me, I'm only in, I have my oversoul and I'm in this life. Apparently I am high maintenance enough that we don't branch out. Okay. Where your daughter makes me feel like her soul is here, but she has multiple lives and multiple timelines going on. She has multiple sparks going out there. And I feel like that's why she felt like people were saying things about her, because, and she's so different because she is, and she's in other timelines. Did she always say that she didn't feel like she was from this time?
Yeah.
Like, she
Yes.
felt like, I feel like it was the 1920s. I feel like there's some reference. She's like, I had to have lived a life in this lifetime.
But yeah, her and her sister always talked about that stuff. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's because
crazy.
she still has one there. So she's in the now, the past, and I would put money that she's in future. Like her oversoul, and then her little sparks out everywhere.
Mm.
Some people, I only have the one that I've been told. But that's why it was like, okay, well, I'll do this, but just temporarily.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Does this make sense? Like for her personality, it needs to make sense. I'm not just because stuff I say when I say stuff like that, I want to make sure it makes sense because otherwise,
No,
like
it
to
does.
her
It
and who
does.
she is. Because I
It
can say
does.
things all day long and you'd be like, wow, that doesn't sound anything like her. But if you say so, nope. I feel like this really describes a lot of who she was
Yes,
and
it does.
still is.
They
And
always
still
talk
is.
about things that they come back as and stuff like that. Crazy.
Do you have okay? She's showing me she is talkative. She's showing me, do you know what fairy houses are or fairy logs are? Like what are they called? Some fairy things. Like she's talking about, was she into fairies? That she's making a fairy reference. And I didn't know people did it.
Butterflies. Oh shoot. I don't know. She was into, I mean, she had a butterfly tattoo.
Oh, okay. But I feel like she's still talking about fairies. Fairies. Did she think that she was Scottish in a past life?
Or I
Did she talk about that at all?
no, and her sister would talk about her being from like and would talk in an accent all the time.
Okay, because she just said to me fairies, which is fairies, but in Scottish, like in Scottish dialect, fairies. Because I like the fairies, the fairy house, the fairy house. So it makes me feel like I don't know. This could be a tribute that you could do for her. This might be a fun thing for you to do, or you and the babies to do. Look up like fairy houses or I forget what they're called, fays or FAE, like fairy house. But like some people will take like old trees or like chop down tree or some sort of tree stump, or they'll carve something out and they'll create a door and they'll put little mushrooms around it and it looks like a little tiny fairy house and you put it in your garden and it's supposed to draw fairies. And so she's like, have them make a fairy house so then they can come visit me. Then I'll come visit them.
Oh, I just got chills.
So did
Wow.
I
did right on my arms. Wow.
But I feel like that'd be a cute little tribute.
That would. Yes, it
And it'd
would.
be like this is what she wanted. She wanted a fairy house, a fairy house.
Oh my gosh, the fairy. Oh my gosh, that says it right there. I just got a little plaque with a fairy on it yesterday and was doing her a spot outside.
Oh,
That's what it was. The fairy. There was a fairy when the plaque. There's a fairy on the plaque. And I just went and got it yesterday. Oh my
and the
God.
plaque is wood.
What? Wait, no, the
Is it
plaque's
wood?
not wood.
Okay, because I was like, is it because she wants a wood house for the fairy? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, it's a plaque it's just, something I got at the store. It was a fairy and I put it down like in a spot, making it for her and everything.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Because I was looking for a Pacific, I wanted something with purple in it, and I got that fairy. Oh my gosh.
So this is just her way of knowing, like just letting you know, like there's no one else that would have known that. Like
I know.
I
I'm
searched,
like,
so I should. Like, what's the
wow.
fairies?
The fairy on the
She
thing.
saw it.
Wow. She's seen it. Wow, that's
Well, she
crazy.
sees everything. She's around. Like she's just around all the time.
Oh my gosh, you don't know how good this reading made me feel.
I'm glad. I mean that, and that's why I do this. Like that's why.
Oh my gosh, it just feels so good. It just feels so good. Like this is
Good.
honestly real, and honestly like validation. The shoes is what did it. The shoes. I know that's so crazy because the shoes was the whole heckle about everything.
That's
It,
funny.
it's when the accident happened, and we just was like, everyone at the end was like, where's the shoes? And it was just because they were $300 first time she ever worn them, and she was so excited to wear them. It was crazy. So that was crazy. That was something else. And then the leaving the building, that's the same thing that the other lady said.
Mhm.
So she probably does have, abilities or whatnot. It was just like,
Right.
I just felt like she read everybody else, and she's from our hometown, and maybe I was just like, oh, I don't know.
And
And
you know, and she, I mean, she could have known what was happening. And again, not to say she doesn't have abilities, but sometimes our own bias and our own knowledge get in the way. That's why I'm like, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know anything.
yeah, I know,
Um,
I know, I know, I know.
and I almost went back, and I knew you lost someone, but I was not about to go back and look at the emails.
I
I
knew
wanted
that.
to,
I knew that. I knew it. That's why
yeah.
I was like, I knew that. I thought, oh, I know I wrote her on Facebook, but I know she's the real deal, so I don't even care. I was like, I know she is.
No,
Oh my
I didn't even look.
God.
So,
And the
um,
news ain't even on Facebook or nothing. So it's like,
oh, that's, and probably the fairies probably not either.
no, that was just bought yesterday. And no, it's just crazy. And nobody would know I would have sang at her candlelight, because the funny thing about it is I did Lady Gaga. And when I did it, on the left of me, I heard my other two daughters going, Mom, no, 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 please, Mom, no, no. And I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because it just, nobody was saying anything or doing anything. So I thought, I'll do it.
Why
I'm
not?
horrible, but I did it.
She thought it was beautiful. She loved it.
Oh, oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad this worked
Oh,
out, and timing worked out, and everything else. And just know that they're all with you. They're
I
all with
cannot
you.
believe it. And Jennifer, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I heard her come through. It was like, wow. She was my best friend when I was 14. Well, she was 14.
Mm,
I was 18. She was killed in a car accident, but we didn't know exactly what happened. Like, she was left out in the road, and she was with her stepfather, and it's like all this different stuff, was she driving? Why was she driving? She was only like 13, 14. Did he leave her there on the road? Was she alive? And it was crazy. And I had her in my wedding, like not in my wedding, but in memory of when people pass.
mm-hmm.
I had her
Yeah.
name in there. So I acknowledged her, and her mother was at my wedding. So her mother was really excited that I remembered Jennifer all these years.
Oh yeah.
And that was just wonderful. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, they're all with you. They're all
That is
with you.
awesome. Oh, I
So if
thank
you need
you
anything
so much.
else, you know where to find me. You are
I
very
know, I do.
welcome.
I love it, and I will be back to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. And yeah, if you need anything else, let me
Do
know.
you go by Lauren?
Lorenda.
Lorinda. Okay,
Mhm.
Lorinda.
Yep,
I go by
just Lorenda.
Barbara all the time, but
You
Barbara is my real name. But
okay?
oh, Lorinda, you are awesome. You are
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you
Thank you very
so
much. And then, so
much.
what I'll do when this processes, once we end this recording or process, then I will put it into an unlisted YouTube link, so no
You
one
can
else can
post
open
it.
it.
I do not care. You can
Oh,
post
well,
it.
I put them in unlisted, so that way you have access to it. So you can go back and watch it. And then when you do, I want you to watch for any
Yours.
flying things,
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's
because
amazing.
I kept seeing them out of the corner of my eye. So I don't know if they made appearances on camera or not.
They
Sometimes they
already
do,
did. A
sometimes they don't.
dragonfly on the day of the birthday party. The day she died, the day of the accident, we had to cancel her nephew's birthday party, my grandson's.
Mm-hmm.
And so the week prior, we put up the tent and everything, and a dragonfly sat there the whole time. It was so crazy, and just sat there. And
Was it this color by
yes.
chance?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God. Oh my God, I got my mom right here.
this is sitting next to me. This is what made me say dragonfly earlier, sitting right next to the candle. Yeah. So just another confirmation. Just another confirmation.
Wow.
So if anybody,
wow.
if anybody ever tries to tell you when they cross over, they have their own limbo, they can't be bullshit.
Yes. Oh, Linda, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. And you have an awesome night. Have a wonderful week. And let me know if you need anything else. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Linda.
Okay.
God bless you.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh.